Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren, and in today's video I just want to tell you guys a little bit of a story, kind of like a story time with Dal. I've never really done this type of videos before, but I felt like this is something that happened to me in the past and I just want to share it. It was one of the most embarrassing moments when I had in World of Warcraft. So it is about Warlord's General. I can't remember exactly which patch. I'm pretty surely somewhere past the great selfie patch that anybody remembers. And I think at the time I moved from Darkspear back to Warmaster Court, which was my home server. But then I was, after a while of playing on Warmaster Court, was gearing to go back to Warlord's General. It was about the time that a lot of my friends, like IRL friends and people I was really close to in terms of the game, they were basically falling out of the game, you know. A lot of people stopped playing the game in Warlords, and it makes sense, because there was really nothing going on. So at the time, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go back to Darkspear, where me and Terge established a guild that had over 1,000 members, and that's where most of the channel really had its major growth, with the streaming and the YouTube videos. Even though there wasn't a lot of content, just being able to interact with you guys and play with you guys and start my series of 5v1 way back then, that was a lot of fun and really awesome. Anyway, come time for transfer, I had to do a little bit of planning. Back in Warlords General, at least during those patches, you couldn't transfer everything with your character, primarily just the amount of gold you can transfer. At the time there was a limit, and I'm not sure if they ever raised the limit, but back then you could only transfer maximum of 50k gold with you. And this is before they had WoW tokens or anything, so basically the best way of trying to transfer all of your gold is basically either by items on the auction house that are account bound that can be on your character when you transfer over, to then afterwards put them on the auction house to make the most amount of money. Now Warmaster Court is a roleplay server, and what that means, there's a lot of things you can transfer there, like transmogs. You can put them up on the auction house and they'll sell for a decent amount. You know, the slut mogs, the sluttier the look, the more revealing they are, the more money you'll make out of it. Then you also have mounts, you have pets, so a lot of those things are of a lot of value on Warmaster Court. But when you transfer them over to Darkspear, a lot of their value loses. I don't know anybody on Darkspear that really does pet battles or is into pet collecting, so a lot of the pets just don't have the same value, and even if they're listed for some high amount on the auction house on Darkspear, just most people don't even care about it. In terms of gear on Darkspear, it was more sensible. It wasn't really all about mogs, except for a few pieces of gear, like the goggles that all the gladiators used to wear, for example. Those would go for a pretty decent price in the auction house, but most of the average gear was actually just gear that you would buy in order to help you level, in order to help you do whatever, so the prices were for the most part low. So I decided to do a few pets at first, and then after figuring out the transfer rate from Darkspear to Warmaster Court, after I already bought the pets, I already knew that I was down money. So I wanted to transfer as maximum amount of money as I could. To give you a reference of, after buying all the pets, I had what, about 300,000 on Warmaster Court, and then I think I had about, after 300,000, I spent a lot of those gold on pets, and that's the gold you can't really get back anymore. So I decided to spend whatever amount I had left on a mount, and then keep whatever 50,000 with me as best as possible, and try to transfer as much of it as I can, and then hopefully put the mount up on the auction house afterwards. Now, I was looking for a few mounts, and I was trying to find the best trade value in terms of price for price. A lot of mounts were in my price range that would either have a lower or the equal mount value on Darkspear, so at least I could get 100% of my money back. But then, after a bit of searching and a bit of patience, somebody listed a Death Charger, the Crimson Death Charger, on the Warmaster Court auction house. Now that mount actually was somewhat cheap, and I thought to myself, wow, this isn't that bad. It was like under 100k. I'm guessing the person that listed it did not know the pricing and how rare that mount was, or maybe they just wanted to make a quick buck and then wanted to sell for lower prices to kind of get it over with. So I saw the low price. I hopped on really quickly over to Darkspear, and I saw that it's actually selling for like 200,000. So I was thinking like, wow, under 100k for 200,000, that's almost like 100% profit or something. I'm not a business student, I'm an IT student, I don't know the profit rates, but it was a lot of gold, so I was gonna make a plus amount of gold, not an equal amount, but a plus. So I decided to seize the opportunity. I hopped on Warmaster Court as soon as I could, bought the mount, and got my transfer to Darkspear as soon as possible. And maybe a day went by, and I was able to get on Darkspear, and the mounts were selling for basically the same amount of money. So the next day I went to the auction house, of course, slapped the mount in, slapped my numbers in, and waited patiently, and thought to myself, yes, I'm gonna make so much money. And I just kind of left it. I just slapped number in whatever I saw in the auction house, didn't think about it, and I was a little bit rash. I was a bit too quick on the draw. So sometimes goes by and I'm waiting for the mount. I'm not really sure exactly how fast am I gonna get it, if it's sold yet. I don't really do a lot of auctioneer and stuff, so it's not like I notice any of the I guess I saw that on trade chat, or if you just look at the chat, it says that a buyer's found for your item. I don't really auction house that much, so I don't really notice things like that. I don't even have an add-on for auction house, which honestly I should have, to get most value out of all the prices I sell. I just kind of do it manually, just to get a quick buck for the most part of items that I don't use but somebody else can use, and then I could just use it for WoW membership and whatnot. Anyway, some time flies by, and then I get mail in a message box and it says, hey, you have a message from the auction house or whatever. So of course I go to Stormwind. I'm really excited to get that gold. I transfer a lot of stuff, even some of those pets sold for a decent value, so I transferred 50k gold with me. The pets sold for actually a fair amount, all of them sold, so I was pretty happy. I was maybe at about 150k gold or so, and I was thinking, man, this is 200k plus or whatever I get here. I know the taxes for like the auction has the cut or whatever. I'm gonna get a decent amount. I'm just gonna be super happy. At the time, I really had nothing to spend the gold for, so I wasn't really happy to buy something with that gold. I was just happy to have that much gold, because I never really farmed gold. I think when I did farm gold, in terms of like casually, like, you know, sending followers and order hall missions to do gold stuff, or maybe in Legion sending the followers on missions to get that 200% for extra gold, at most I was able to accumulate is about 200, 250. I'm not somebody who has ever tried to play the auction house. There's no real reason for gold except for a few mounts and a few things you might want from auction house, but for the most part, there's no value in gold anymore, so I never really cared about it. But I thought it would be cool to just have that much gold in my bank or my bags for the first time in ever. And after a while goes down, I go to the auction house. I go to the mailbox near the auction house on the Alliance server on Stormwind. I open up the box and I see about 230 gold. 230 gold. Of course, I understand that. Okay, this is probably for some of the mat that I sold. That's probably not for the mount. Let's see in the mount. So I go to the auction house and I check out, you know, all my auctions sold, and it's empty. There's nothing in queue. So I'm thinking, okay, where's my mount? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe my mount is in the transfer progress, right? Maybe the money is transferring and it'll come in 2 hours or whatever because it just sold, maybe, or the bidding just came up. So I didn't think much about it. I check in the next day, and of course I get random mail from, you know, the crap you didn't want to loot. I don't know why they added that in World's General when you didn't want some menial items that didn't cost any gold, just some trash items, junk items, and then they appear in your mailbox. But that's all that appeared in my mailbox for the longest time, and or extra honor points that I would cap over, because I was always honor cap, because there was no need for honor really either after you get full gear. So I'm thinking, where's my mount? And then I take the time and I figure it out. There's another mount of the Scarlet Death Charger on the auction house, selling for 230k. The amount of gold that came in for me was about 230, not k, but just 230. And then I put things together and I figure out that I missed a few zeros when I put it in the auction house. So that is how I spent about under 100k gold to get about 230k, 230, not even k, just 230 gold on Darkspear, where I could have made a massive profit. I literally just gave somebody a free mount. So that is my story with probably the worst spending that I've ever done on World of Warcraft. Now this should go a lesson to you guys. No matter what you do, no matter how exciting things might be sure, what is that old saying? Because I took a shop class before. But it's like, what, measure 7 times, cut once? Something like that? Yeah, just make sure you have all the right zeros when you're putting stuff in for the auction house. Because if you're trying to make a big buck and you really care about gold, yeah, just make sure not to mess up like I did. Okay, well, besides that, I mean, I guess I was a little bit sad that I didn't make money from the experience. I was kind of hoping that it would make a big buck, but it felt more embarrassing than anything, just that I made this goof. I mean, I kind of got over it after a day because, again, there's nothing really to spend gold on, and then later they introduced the whole WoW membership for gold, and then actually became like, you know, $15 in the store and whatnot, so it became a lot more valuable. But at the time, I mean, I could just die from embarrassment. I was pretty bad. That's probably my worst gold spending story in a while. Anyway, let me know if you want to hear any more stories like these from World of Warcraft. I got only a few of these, so I could make a video like that. That's just something to mix up within all the 5.5.1.1 duels that I constantly put out. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.